Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Cryptolifer Show. Baby. Yeah. I just sold my Bitcoin position, my S&P. Why did I just sell? We're going to take a look at that right now in about 8 minutes. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Bitcoin at 86,600. Got a little offended there when I read a comment. Guy said this isn't technical analysis. What the heck is that? I shouldn't read these comments. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. We're going to break down BTC like we do every single day. See if we can make some money on the live. Highly unlikely on a week like today. A week probably going to take it easy, but you never know. Shout out to my man Dave Rave Song Records. I know how you feel, man. I love you so much, and I can only imagine your pain. I love you, bro. I don't know what to say. All I can tell you is we close our eyes and we hold on to the memories of the people that we love, man. That's all I can say. I love you. And tell you that I'm here right now in the present moment. And you're here. And hey. And shout out to everyone that lost a loved one this week or that's going through it. And I'm sorry to make it so somber, but hey, that's the reality of life. So this is starting to look more like a bear flag to me. Get rejected by the 200 moving average, get smothered. See, that's what happens in a bear market. You keep using the 200 to support. Just like in a bull market, you use the 200 to support. So this tells me, you could just basically, it's because the trend's our friend right now to the downside. We're below the daily 200 moving average. Every time we're below a 200 moving average. So it's basically telling us a short is the most likely scenario here. You see? Back down to 77,000. That's what this is saying. The crazy thing is, I could see this thing jump in 2 seconds back to the upside. They've got us in one of those choppy areas again. My system works very well once I've established, look, I got a bottom. I caught the bottom, we moved. Why did I sell my S&P in my BTC position today? I sold them both. You can see they're gone. And I showed my trading group, right? And I did sell them in gain, right? If I look at my last order history, I sold both those in gains. And we had to, right? What, there's no, am I signed out or something? That's weird. Trade history. So right there, 750 and 442, 250, the last 3 trades. See, like I've been trading very light recently and just adding to my portfolios, waiting. I'm not trying to be a big shot right now. I see people losing tons of money. I don't want to be one of them. I'm sitting on massive tether, looking at the perfect places to invest. See, I'm a long-term investor. That's how I made most of my money. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I say and do should be taken as such. But I made most of my money speculating on markets long-term, looking at things and parking my money over time. Now I get to play around because I have those nest eggs. I have that time in the market. I've been in the markets since I was 22. I'm 42 years old, right? So, like, a lot of you people here, 27, some people older than me, but you didn't get into the markets when I did, right? And I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about a trader. So the longer you spend in the market, the more it'll pay you. The longer you spend in anything, the more it'll pay you. If you're a mechanic, over time, think you'll fix so many people's cars. People will know you. You'll be fighting people out of the, be like, oh, you just have so many people that want to work with you. You won't be able to work with, you won't be able to fix every car you'd like to fix. There'll be people you want to help that you couldn't help because you're so booked, right? If you're that good, there's going to be a time where you actually want to fix somebody's car and you can't even do it. Or if you do it, you have to do it in the middle of the night and fit it in and work like a dog, even though you're the one on top. It's funny, I've seen people like that. Like I know a buddy, he was a mechanic. Everyone knew him. Everyone loved him, right? He made tons of money because everyone in the neighborhood wanted him, right? He's making a few $1 million a year, had multiple mechanics below him. He was the shop everyone wanted to go to. He was trustworthy. He was the good guy, few and far between in the mechanic world. And then, your car breaks down, you're his good friend, and he's coming to your house at like 11:30 at night, and he's doing it for you till like 1 in the morning. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? And it's the work ethic and the heart of someone that's what made them that rich. Because they were someone that was just willing to get it in, no matter what. Could you? So that's the idea there. And you got a higher low on BTC. I'm looking for us to just stay in some chop here. 1, 2, 3, just like this. You know what I mean? I don't see much, The key is you got to get above the 200 moving average with the 21. So right now, what I said to myself, I was like, man, I'm pretty smart. I said I should take my money out. We were at like 87.1. I said I should get out. I said because it's feeling like a Saturday, number one today, right? It's low volume. We know banks are going to be closed on Thursday. It's already starting to dry out. Less and less people are in the market. All of America's traveling. Most people are taking work off today and starting to travel. Or this is their last day at work. And I tell you what, in America, they're drinking. Right now at work, everyone starts drinking. I had quit alcohol towards the end. But and I wasn't even the biggest drinker back then. And a lot of times I actually was the guy that had to do files while everyone else got to party, because it was how the handoff worked in the situation I was in. I worked in TV. They finished shooting and they handed us the files. We had to edit them and get them ready for TV. But the production was done. So they were all done, so they started drinking when I started working. And so I would see like 20, 30 people all partying while I was like still grinding. And they were like partying in the room, walking by me, hey, because they'd party in the office. Anyway, the whole point is, in America, everyone's drinking right now. They're getting ready. They all start these holiday parties. There's a reason for alcohol in every situation in America. There's a can of Coca-Cola and a can of alcohol. Isn't that weird? You won't find a party in America without a can of Coca-Cola and a can of alcohol. It's kind of strange. It's kind of like we live in this weird, you know what I mean? It's like you could go from Texas to Massachusetts to Minnesota to California. You'll see the same stuff. A few different beers, some people have their fancies. There'll be a few different things, but for the most part, right? Kind of like brainwashed, isn't it? It's a bit odd if you think about it. I'm all cuff linked up for you today. Match of the tie with the cuff links. Gotta love it. All right, so resistance by the 200 moving average. That's just no good. And you can see how this is shoulder, head, kind of making a right shoulder here. So I don't know. You got to get back above this 200. The 21 has to cross. If that does not happen, we're not going up. Like, I've studied this. I've back tested it. And what happens, like I told you, you just keep hanging out near the 200. But you don't get traction. That would be I would take that shot because you only get stopped out. Then the retest, and then you can take the short. So, and we're going to zoom out to the bigger picture too. But yeah, that's bearish to me. That's a bear flag. Say whatever you want. You can say, no, we've been right, This was key because we made this pump and we started the flag. That needed to break above the 200, pull the 21 with it. That was a hardcore rejection, and I'll show you where it was in the 4-hour too. It was definitely a support or resistance flip. So back to the monthly. Remember, if we close a monthly candle below these two candle bodies, you have to assume we're going down to 71,004. 71.5, okay? That just is what it is. Bookmap likes to go to the closest red. That's at 85,000. It still has nice liquidity up at 92, 95K, but it also has it down there at 75. You can see it's kind of a little closer there, but that is the closest. So we usually go to the darkest, deepest, closest area. That's very close there at 85,000. Well, it is what it is. We will see. Not my party, fruit, fresh juice, health, fresh food, magic. Ooh, wow, yeah. Shoulders, head, and right shoulder. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing is, too, if we do get a bounce, you can almost see a clear right shoulder there, which almost extends this to a long-term downtrend. That means we'd hit 108 and then slowly bleed out down to 40,000. Crazy. I'm not saying that's guaranteed, but that's just what you see on the table here. It's a very likely scenario. 50K, 55,000. Where these two right shoulders hit, that looks like a likely area because that's the strongest, somewhere between $47,000 and $50,000 BTC. So, hey, you go to 126 to 80K, you can go 80K to 40K. It's a speculative asset. It's insane. And you always when we got above 100K, I thought it would never going below 100K again and all this. And even, it just, man. A few years ago, I decided to believe that anything is possible. See, I used to get in the sauce, Bitcoin has to do this, no. Bitcoin doesn't have to do anything. See what I'm saying? Bitcoin doesn't have to do anything. It do whatever it wants any day. It go to zero today. It could go to 200. You know what I mean? Again, those things are unlikely, but it can. I see. I'm open-minded to be free. See, what I believe is nothing's going to save me. No investment, right? No 100x coin. My work ethic and my ability to keep going every day is going to save me. If there is any saving, or it's going to keep me from being saved. And it's just about grinding every single day. And once you kind of get that in your head and you don't look for a free lunch anymore, life's pretty sweet because then you just basically get to work. Once you've committed to the fact that work is your only way out, you stop looking for a new way out and you just start looking for work. You know what I mean? How can I better myself? How can I grind? Weekly. Looks like it's going to come down to 77,000. That's its next support. Make a double bottom there. If it loses that, you're looking at 71K. 4-day chart wants that 200 moving average. The 3-day just could not get back above its 200. Had to get back above that. We had to get a close. Like, we had to see a momentumous move there. I said it before. I was like, we could get a V-shaped recovery. It's still on the table, but it's looking less and less likely now. This could be the wick. This could be the wick for today, and we rip. But, you know, now it's getting to be, you know, the V-shape kind of has to have a more narrow head. And once this starts to happen, and again, like I said, could we dump before we hit the 21? There's a chance. That 12-hour and that 22, both looking bearish, curving overbought on the 21-day moving average. So remember, I called this bottom. We had a nice run up. I just sold kind of right into the top. I held the whole time there on the remember, I got into this candle here and I held all the way up into there. But I'm a realist too. I could still see either thing happening, but right now you have to see. People say, but it's 50-50. I could see it bouncing. I could see it dumping, but you have to go with the trend. See, that's why a long-term trader just says, but it's the trend. You know, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. You would assume the next candle is a lower low. Look at that 72K. I mean, that would be a massive short to the downside. Stop, and you use the 20. I would use the 21-day moving average, right? I believe I should hedge that right now with what I just made. Like, I could take like 800 for 32 or something like that. You know what I mean? 800 for like, you know, $3,000. I just made 1,000. If I get stopped out and we rip, I'll get stopped at a break even. I'll use another account to scalp when the 5-minute crosses the 200 moving average. You see what I mean? So, and then if we reverse, I'll get back into my long and I'll long all the way back up again. Because my signals will give it to me. Like, I'll get a 15 crossing the 200. We'll get a nice flag. So, I'm kind of tactical in this. It tells me it's a smart move here to possibly get into the short because, and I'm just thinking this through with you as if you're my buddy. We're just hanging out together. I'm like, hey, what are you thinking? And what am I thinking? Well, I'm just, you know, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Hey, what are you thinking over here? You shouldn't be thinking about what are the charts saying to you? The charts are telling me, I mean, that's turning more and more into a bear flag, right? There's some bear div there too. One-hour time frame has to break back above the 200 moving average. Kind of looks like a shoulder, head, right shoulder. It just looks bearish to me. Almost feel like it already broke the trend line, you see? We were looking for some type of flag to break back to the upside. So, and right here, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show you back on the 4-hour. You can see it's a clear SR flip too. Look at this. So perfect, you know. If you pull that right there, resistance, and we wicked right into that area. High volume node there, rejection, right? Looks like you'll make a right shoulder. See this? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. So I was looking for the reversal, but you know, it was a very fragile position, and we knew at any moment, right? Sam is so calm and collected. This is how it's done. God bless everybody. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just in position to see the market, you know, and we guys, I got to take advantage of what the market's given me, right? Look at the 4-hour pointing to the downside. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and make that short. It just makes sense. I'm going to use the 200 moving average on the 1-hour time frame. Right? I'd love to be wrong, but it just looks bearish to me. I mean, we are very oversold on the 1-hour time frame. That's my only well, look, we're already down 1,700 on the day too. We've been dumping since the rejection of the 200 moving average at 88,888. It's like we hit. I saw 5/8. Kind of crazy. So it's looking more bearish than bullish to me. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. You tell me. And it looks like we could get to 77, 72K, right? I would love a short squeeze, though. The key is I'll get stopped out. We get above the 200 moving average. I'll wait for the 21 to touch on the 15 of the 1, and then I'll take my model. Maybe I got chopped both ways. You never know. It could happen, but I have a plan. Yeah, so I could see a move further to the downside here for BTC, sad to say, 77, 72K. I'm going to look at the S&P 2. We're going to take a look at everything and break it down. So let's take a look at BTC. BTC. And maybe I see it a different way. I mean, that's a possible double bottom there. You see that? That looks like a double bottom on the 3-minute chart. Interesting, right? So just want to show you what we were looking at. We're looking at this here in the flag, right? I would stick with the daily after the New York close. They will rip it to the upside. I was about to ask for your screen share. Thank you. How many suits do you own? I don't know, man. I really don't. So much work to do to get back to the money. Oh, yeah. Crypto hates everyone. These are funny, man. Use TP and Sama only community. Yeah. I'm trusting my long. Look at the 3-day chart. We've only hit oversold 5 times, and only one of those accurately marked a true bottom. The chart suggests there's still a higher probability of further downside. Shout out to Taylor Murphy. Lifts those heavyweights. God bless you, brother. Interesting. Since 10 to 20 mil. What you think? Yeah. Suit tops. No, I got pants on. I always have pants on. I have awesome gray pants. The gray pants look amazing. Always have pants and a belt. I'm not playing around here. My kids are here. I have a nanny in the house. You know what I mean? Who's with the kids every day. Like, I can't walk around without pants on. No, seriously. Like, I'm a statesman. We have chefs here. I have people to attend to. I'm just serious, but seriously, I can't be walking around like that. I have 3 daughters, man. I'm not Kevin O'Leary. No, Bitcoin getting the bounce since I was about to shout. Maybe we get the push up to the upside. Let's take a look at weeks. I might make a little scalp here on my weeks account. Weeks has been doing wonderful. Yeah, 1 minute still not back above the 200 moving average, though. The double bottom did play out that on the 3-minute, though, right? Or even the 5, you could see it. Now, the 3-minute really made it more apparent. We got it here. You can see it's a double bottom. This one right here, look, 1, 2. That's definitely a W, and it's about to hit the target of a W. Usually a good time to short into the pump, right? I might wait my turn for the entry. But so this is what I'm looking. I'm looking for a short unless we get above the 200 moving average. Then if we flag out, I'm taking it up to the upside. You back. How do you what? Yes, my strategy is based off the 200 moving average, not based on my ideas or what I want to do. All right, the charts will convey where the highest probability trades are, and I will take them. If you keep watching for the next year every single day with me, you're going to learn a lot. Bang. I just glad I was thinking the other night, did those longs made money? I just did a long-term short. What? Made 28,000. Hey, man, do whatever makes you happy. I'm happy you were doing your thing. Yeah. You weren't thinking, though. You were using the charts, my friend. You definitely weren't thinking. I love you, though. Yeah. God bless you. Man, I'm not in a competition with you. God bless you, bro. Amen. I'm up $100. Cool, man. Yeah, trading today to me is... It's like trading on a Saturday afternoon, right? The whole week is going to be a bit sketchy. Like to see the move back. See, I started with the 1 hour should bounce back to the upside out the flag. Like, that's the first thing we should see, kind of like. But you kind of have to cheat the trend line, make it look like a bugle. But you want to see the 1 hour possibly bounce back to the upside. Anything can happen. Let's go back to that daily. Flip this green, baby. If today change, so if this could flip green, change the whole story, unbelievable, right? And then we could V-shape recovery. To me, the fatter we get, like you make one more over here, it's just going to be such an ugly ugly head, but you never know. But you clean this up right now and turn this into a green candle that pumps back to 91,000. It's all possible. I'm open-minded to all these things. The first thing that will have to happen is the 1 hour will get above that 200 moving average. That'll be somewhere at about 88K, right? The 15-2 as well. The 15-minute gets back above the 200. We're in business. Nice little, look at that. I mean, there's that. That was strong. Strong support. 1, 2, 3 candles in a row. Unable to break that area. And Bitcoin bouncing back. So I hesitated on the short. I'm going to hesitate. I still don't know exactly what I want to do there. Or what I'm desiring to. I don't have the trade in exactly set yet. Exactly. God bless you, brother. Love you, man. Been watching you for many years. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Simple Jack. We love you, brother. Sam MU here. Can you please share briefly the strategy you use and the way you trade, please? Thank you. Community looks amazing. Yeah, I just use the 200 moving average a lot. And what we do is we wait for price action to get back above the 200. Like, look, right here was a flag. Like, it touched the 21, made a flag, and it was above the 200. And you can see you got a nice pump to the upside, right? Boom. Then you could also go watch Tesla, right? And you could look at Tesla on like the 4 hour time frame. To me, Tesla's a buy right now. It's about to move up, get tight, and it looks like it's going to pump to 800. You do whatever makes you happy, but I'm calling a long for Tesla right now. Remember it. This is one of my stone cold calls that you'll always remember. But I'm calling a long for Tesla around 400, 409. If you can get it anywhere at 375 at a dip, I'm calling a long for Tesla. All right? Put my name on it, my stamp on it. High or low, oversold. Things about to pump so hard, it's ridiculous. And show me the charts and I'll show you the news. They're about to come up with some news. Something's coming out. Someone's going to buy more shares, something. I don't know. Next week, you're going to hear some type of news. That's what the charts are telling us. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. They're telling me that Tesla is about to do some damage. Look at that thing. It's looking beautiful on the daily. Look at the curvature on the stochastics. Look at the RSI. Look at the MACD. It's on the high volume node right there on the VRVP, going to the volume area highs. It looks absolutely beautiful. So do what makes you happy, but I am calling a long for Tesla. And you know, you can even long Tesla, I believe, here on BTCC. So we can do that right now here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at that daily. So I like this trend line. I guess you could say it is an ascending triangle. You never know, but that's beautiful, right? Previous support is resistance. It just looks sweet to me. And like, you know, I have my indicators on the other, like on the trading view side, so I can see it in my mind what I'm looking for, right? And the stop can be deep. See that? Like 286. Take profit can be up at 835. This is what I'm doing. You do whatever makes you happy. $4 for 15 would be sweet. I don't need to be too crazy there. 16 for 5. I like it. So there's a long for Tesla there on BTCC. You can trade anything here, which is awesome. So I'm just going to put, you know, a little bit of money where my mouth is here for Tesla. And again, you don't have to be a big shot, just little by little. Not going to hold for the rest of my life. I'm just swing trading some Tesla. I'd like to see it happen in 2 months. Right? You just hold that now for 2-3 months and see what happens with the markets. Okay, so, and honestly, trading for me personally should be that carefree. You should have known you should have a trading style. You should understand what you're doing. It should make sense to you. And then when you actually execute the trade, there should be no real, it should be just scot-free. You should know exactly what you're risking. The loss should mean nothing to you because you should be under risk. The win should just be an add-on and a good benefit, and you should go from there. Right? You take that 5, you flip that to something else, to 10, you flip that to something else. 2-3 years from now, you got a couple hundred racks off that 5. And that's just one of the many things that you've moved. You know what I mean? For me, it's about multiplying. I don't care if it's 1 to 5. I don't care if it's 2 to 4. I don't care if it's 100 to 300. As long as I have more than I had the day before, I'm happy. Lifer, can we look at the Banker's Coin? No. I'm not going to be looking there. Thank you, though. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah. And no offense, I love Jesus. Not today. I'm not doing that. I'm not going over there. Yeah. Never was a fan of the coin personally. It's just never been my thing. I love you so much, and please don't be offended. But it's just not going to happen today. Okay? You can ask for something else, though, because I don't want to. I definitely want to respect the super chat. All right. So interesting. Bitcoin battling, too, with the higher low here on the 15-minute time frame. Come on, Bitcoin. Look, a bullish divvy kicking in strong on my indicator, and it's saying, hey, can I dig in here? Can I get a bit of a pump? Gonna see our shoulder, head right shoulder. I don't know. It's messy, and to me, it's chop city. Even if we get the bounce, I see us in chop, right? It would be a beautiful bounce, though. So I hesitated on the short, on the bigger short, but almost been like maybe it's a perfect time too. Let me go back to the 1. You could even just get to 77.8 here and still be in the game. I'm going to watch price action for a bit here, see if there's something else that happens. And that's what happens too as a trader. I'll set it up, and then some days I'm just going to be like, my wife will come in the office and she'll be like, what is it? I was like, I just got to wait this one out. It's not, something ain't there yet. Your subconscious mind, I can't explain it, but it'll pick up on something and you'll just be like, just not there yet. Just not right now. Almost, but not right now. Almost, but just not right now, right? We take a look at the market here and see what's hot and what's not. If anything's kind of decoupling a bit, every once in a while you'll see something just absolutely soaring, right? Bitcoin up 0.67% in 24 hours. My goodness, we are in a bull market. It kind of feels that's how people, but Sol's pretty strong in 134. Hyperliquid, Bitcoin Cash 500. That ain't bad, actually, if you think about it. Chainlink at 12. Everything kind of back to where it was. Nothing too crazy. BitTensor holding it down a little bit better than most. ICP up 3% in 24 hours. Kaspa up 22%. So Kaspa getting up, and Kaspa's actually the only coin actually getting a bit of a bounce. People seem to like their Kaspa, right? The proof of work it does have something to it that should make it sustainable over time. Last 7 days, it's actually the only, look at this one, SPX, really only 2 charts that have moved, Kaspa and SPX. So people are loyal to Kaspa. Felt like it was possibly a good time to get in. I believe you hold Kaspa 4 to 5 years, but man, I already gave it 2 to 3 years, about 2.5 years, and you thought by now this thing would have played out. My goodness, it's been a battle with Kaspa. 87,000 BTC. All right. So yeah, nothing too crazy. And then I like to just kind of look here too. And I like to see the trending cryptos. Top 20 searches in the last 7 days. You got Jitto. Remember, Jitto staked Sol. Interesting. Aave, Official Trump, BitTensor, Zcash, Bcash. So Bitcoin Cash, really the only thing kind of holding it down right now. Quant, but I come on. I'm sorry, anyone that loves their quant, but let's get real. Like, Tensor, really, that thing's up nice. Look at that. TNSOR, Tensor. Interesting. And I'll give you a flash here, too, at Token Metrics. And they see, look, they got Ruby Coin, WicketCat, Resolve, BitLight, and ORE. I don't think that's not the same ORE from back in the day either, though. All right. Bitcoin, ETH, Bless, and Jupe. Really? I think that's old, though. Oh, Bless. Let's take a look at Bless. I have no idea, Bless. So if you can see Bitcoin struggling to possibly get a pump here, it's got to get back above this 15-minute 200 moving average. This is going to be the test for today. Otherwise, it's going to roll over. If that starts to roll over and come down, I mean, and you can see there's kind of a death cross coming too, right? And I believe we had a death cross confirmed on Bitcoin on the daily now. I mean, for sure. Sometimes that does mark the bottom, which is interesting. Like you'll death cross and the bottom will be kind of right after it. Like you can see here, the last time we had the death cross was right here. Then we bottomed and then we came up. But you got to get the curvature on the 21. See how the 21 is still pointing down until the 21 decides to curve? Yeah, just like here, when you start to pump, you can see the 21 will curve when you start to dump. And to me, it just looked like Bitcoin was, you never know. This could be the move here. We got to dig in. So I'm not sold on the short just yet. I can see the short and I know what to do, but I'm not sold on it just yet. You look, 10 hour also has a perfect previous support becomes. So if we can flip 89K, you see that? Because you flip 89K, that's that exact line there. Right here. Especially, see how it is on the 10 hour time frame. And you flip that line and bang. You can use that as support. So far, we have got a little bit of a bounce here for Bitcoin. Nice volatility. Look for the 1 hour to create a tweezer bottom. Just like we do on the daily, right? This is what I'm starting. I use candle bodies more than ever. The last 6-7 months, I started just trading candle bodies. Like, look at that. 1 hour time frame back to the upside, right? And then again, that's that 3-minute double bottom. We saw the double bottom. That's what I hesitated on the short. I said, man, I don't short double bottoms on the 3-minute. That looks too clean right now. We also have light liquidity above us, though. Just, you know what I mean? You got this deep, deep order book down at 75,000 saying no. So sketchy business here for the longs as well. But nice bounce back to the upside for Bitcoin. Let me get into my smaller time frame scalpelinos here. So look, now you're getting back above the 1 minute 200 moving average. You made what's called an ascending triangle. You see, you had a measured move here. So you can see my strategy consists of using the 200 moving average. When you get above it, there's usually a pretty nice pump. I like to see the 21 follow though. If the 21's not above it, the odds of it happening are lower, right? So some days I'll just blindly, like right there, we crossed the 200. You just buy it with a stop below, like some area here, and just ride. And that would have been an entry at 87.2 all the way up to 87. Not huge, but it would have been a move. Here too, you get above the 200 on the 1 minute, boom. Sorry. Here too, you get above the 1 minute, the 200 on the 1 minute, right there. You just right when that candle opens up, and you put a stop maybe here, and look, you ride that puppy all the way from 86,000 to 87.5. Like these are scalps too, and maybe you could have. That was an even better one, all the way to 89K. I mean, that was just a monster move. There's another one, beautiful move. You can see it almost never reverses. Like the last 1, 2, 3. That one was whatever, but it's still kind of pumped for you a little bit. But you could say, 4 was pretty good. 5 was pretty good. 6, right? So the thing about hitting a model or a strategy in trading is you got to hit it more often than you don't. That's what I've learned. You got to go at it. Like this one, for me to win all the time on this, I got to hit it more. You know what I mean? Because look, the idea behind trading is to have proper risk management in a model. You see what I'm saying? So look, is anyone here never heard of me before? My name's Sam Price. So look, here's my last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 trades. Okay? 14 trades. I lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I won 8 of them, right? So 8 out of 14 trades is above 50%. It's like 66, 60, 70%. And then you got to look at the wins. Like 500 and 800 is about $600, right? And then that's $750. Plus this is about $13 about 1400, right? Because 750 and 6 is 1350, and then it's actually 1410, right? And then a loss there puts us at, like, let's say 1300, and then add that is about what, $2,600. Then we're at 25, then we're at 24, then we're at 23, but then I make another $600. So now I'm at 2,900. Now I'm at 28. Now I'm back to 29, and now I'm back to 28. So I won 8 out of my 14 trades. I made $2,800. You see what I'm saying? And actually, there were some bigger wins back here that are added. So if I was able to count just like the last 2, I'd even have a better. But it only shows me like the last week or whatever. So, but the point is, you can do this with proper risk management. These are just stop losses or trades that I was like, you know what? It's not going exactly how I had planned. I'm going to go to bed and cut it off. Or I don't like the low volume right now. Or there's a reason why the trade to me just doesn't feel, I shouldn't say feel, but the TA doesn't agree. Like, I looked at something, I projected it, it didn't happen the way I projected it, I moved on. But it takes a lot of discipline. Like right now, you want to trade so hard, Everyone wants to make $3,000 trading. Who doesn't want to make $3,000 trading? $3,000's a lot of good, that's good money. Anyone here that made an extra $3,000 this week or this month, even if it was in the last 2 months, imagine if you were able to tell your wife, I finally made an extra $3,000 on my Lev account. Like, those are accomplishments. They take time. This isn't going to happen overnight for most people here. It's going to take time. Some of you people make $3,000 in an hour. Some of you people outtrade me all the time. I never said I was the best trader, and I never claimed to be. I'm just the most consistent person that I know out here on YouTube, banging on the teaching, banging on what I'm showing you, and showing you things that actually work. Look, I wouldn't take this trade because why? The 21 didn't cross the 200 yet. It tells me to be wary of that trade. Too many times I jumped the gun and I took the trade without the 21 crossing, and I had to actually eat the trade. I know better. Could actually, and if this gets rejected and falls short, it could actually end up being that short entry. Look, I still have to possibly, look to the fact that we could be dumping on this low volume and getting tapped. See, that tap by the 200 moving average is the same thing I do upside down. And it's the rejection of the 200, same idea here. So you can kind of see I'm just sitting on this like, That nice little pump could have, the closer you get to the 200 for me personally too, the better off I am at any single trade, because it's giving me the closer, the stop loss has less risk when I'm closer to the 200. Yes, they could spike it right above it, bring it back down. I've seen it all. And on low volume week, it's probably something they may do. That's why I don't risk tons. I don't want to risk a lot. That's why I started learning, well, where can I risk the least? If I get in near the 200, I don't have to risk as much as everybody else, right? So that's a 4-to-1 trade if I go to 76,138. And maybe I don't get there. A lot of times I don't do that. Or, I'm sorry, 76,138. You got to put that up there. Right, you switch it, and then the stop is 89,506. And I just said 500 for 25 ain't bad, right? Again, I'd like to probably make more on a bigger move like that, but I also don't want to lose a lot. The key is not to risk it all, is to be hedged against the position. I could see a right shoulder getting made. But the 4-hour also looks bearish, like it could push us down. You see that? Make a right shoulder, or see how the 4-hour is just in free fall on the stochastics. My trader instinct tells me you're on low volume. 5-minute Bitcoin looking like an inverted cup and handle. Interesting. Like where here, like I'm trying to, oh yeah, kind of like this. Yeah, I see what you're saying. See, we have so many insightful people here on the channel. You see what he just said, or he or she? I believe it's a man. I don't want to be rude though, that's all. But like there's your cup, and there's the inverted cup and handle, see? And you take the length here to there, and that's where, it's going to just kind of do its thing. Again, below the 200 moving averages is bearish to me. Every time we're below them, it's a bearish sign. Every time we get back above them, it's a bullish sign. Last night, I wanted to see us flag out and get back above that 200. I took profit smartly, and then I made a trade on that flag there to see if we get above it on the 15-minute, but we did not. I see a diamond pattern on the 4-hour time frame. So you're seeing a diamond. I see the diamond. I see what you're saying too as well. Look at the lifers, man. I'm just going to sit here and draw you guys patterns. I don't even have to work no more. The lifers got us. They know what's up. This is the most learned trading group in the game. They'll teach you the ways. Are you seeing it like this? Yeah, a bit of a diamond there too. I kind of see what you're saying there. Or are you seeing a bigger diamond here? But that would be too slanted in my mind. Like, you need something different there. But I do see a possible diamond right here. Right? Like, that looks like a diamond. She's a diamond in the rough. I tell ya. A diamond. So look, can you... There you go. Right there you have it. Yeah, it does. That has a diamond vibe. In from the bottom in a way, right? Tells you you're going to drop down from the bottom, which is weird when you're at the bottom. Is this the way you're drawing the diamond? Yeah. Which is hard to be in the game, exactly. I've just been watching heat map liquidations, and it's been 99 for me on the trades. Me too, man. Amazing, right? We just kind of go towards the area. The key area here is this, though. Like, I see liquidations on either side. It is telling, look, that's the closest now, 89.1, and then 93K. The closest red is above us at this point, right? It's got a little light, so they've switched it almost to the upside now. The 1 hour is very oversold. I want to see it turn, or it could just kind of melt too. I get, it's one of those days where you see it anyway. You know, yesterday we had the cup and handle. We called the pump. Boom. We called that pump out the cup and handle yesterday. Isn't that crazy? Came up, got rejected by the 200. We're here again. And honestly, remember, since last Tuesday, I've been spot on. Today's the first day since last Tuesday, a week, that I'm like in the middle on, like, for the moment. I could see them rush up and get the shorts. I could see it roll over. If anything, it almost looks to me like it's just going to go shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Just toy with the 200, but not do it. But still go after this little group of liquidity here. Hang and look, there's a POC. We're right above the POC right there. The point of control on the VRVP, it's got a red line sticking out. You'll see it's the highest mountain. This is the VRVP. You go up here to add it. You type in VRVP, Visible Range Volume Profile. If you like this type of learning and teaching, okay, and it gets you going and you get excited, join my Discord. Inside the Discord, I have an entire content directory right here with an entire class. All the stuff that I've ever learned put together in video form for you. People are charging $2 to $3 grand for stuff like this and making you take over. You know, this is all there for you for the low, affordable, premium monthly fee. All right? It's amazing. And you have access to it now if you go to any of my videos, all right, on the cryptolifer YouTube channel, and you go below, like today, you go below this live stream here. That's me right there, live streaming. You go to this link right there and hit it. That's the Black Friday early bird sale. Hit that. That'll give you 24-hour access that starts this Thursday night. Today's Tuesday. That's just 2 days. Click that link. It'll open up a forum, okay? And that forum will open you up to jump on in to the Black Friday sale, all right? Look, you click on the link like this, boom. A form opens up. You fill out the form, and then you jump on in. And you say you're not a robot. Even though I'm a robot, you say you're not a robot, okay? All right? Remember, only I'm a robot. I like someone said yesterday, they're like, good faking going to the dentist to act like you're not a bot. He's like, I see what you did there. He's like, we know you're still a bot, though. He's like, we know you don't need to go to the dentist. We know you're a robot. Thank you. I appreciate that. So 86,000 for BTC. And so we're kind of hanging on the ledge here. Is this going to kind of roll over, or are we going to get the bounce up to the upside? And what's going to happen? You know, somebody said something at the beginning of the stream, said this is a perfect time for hedge funds to play with Bitcoin 100%. If you have bigger money now, you can float the price around. There's just low volume right now. It's one of those times, and people aren't paying attention. And people almost don't care. They could bring it up or down. No one, people will be like, oh, I was driving my family through 5 states. I was waiting in the airport to get to grandma's house. You know what I mean? So many people are traveling in the next few days in America. And people with big money that are in the stock market too, they tend to take the whole week off, right? So my daughter's school has the whole week off. That's just how it is here in Florida. They'll have 2 weeks off in Christmas. They just like, you know what I mean? We also start in August, so we start earlier than most people. We've already been at school about a month prior to most schools, right? So green here for altcoins. You can see, not amazing, but some of the littler coins here flashing some green on Maxine. Not amazing though. So Bitcoin really holding 86.9, just deciding it's going to have a bit of a stand here. But getting rejected by that 15-minute 200, kind of sitting in limbo. Seeing if this can make a right shoulder on the 5-minute time frame. I think that's our fate there. It's kind of where we stand. Little flag here on the 3-minute. The 3-minute seems to be the one that's giving us the answers today. The 1 minute's a little bit manipulated. The 5's a little shady and murky. The 3-minute has provided access, right? It gave us this double bottom. It's now giving us the flag, a bit of the cup and handy. The Sammy Cup and Handy. Hi, my name is Pat Summerall. Welcome to 1996. My name is Pat Summerall. This is John Madden. It is the San Francisco 49ers against the Dallas Cowboys here. Hey, can you watch Bitcoin ETH? It's about to break, baby. Sam, inverted head and shoulder on the 5-minute time frame. You know what, man? Right when I said that, you said it. God bless you. My daughter has the week off for conference and holiday. Yeah, my son is off this week, too. He says, hi, Sammy. Samuel Cup and Handle. God bless you to your son. May he be an amazing addition to the family and continue to be an earner. If he watches the stream, he's on his way to success. If he came to the channel, then he's already doing the right thing. If you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. You heard what I said, boy. One day you too can get yourself a plaque of 100,000 subscribers if you work hard every single day. Shout out to everyone that helped me get to 100,000. Means the world to me. Thank you so much. It looks good on me. I appreciate it. And, you know, I never would have thought. I mean, I knew we were going to get there. But when you finally get to a goal that you've been dreaming about, thinking about, working every single day, it's like water dripping. I love Jim Rohn. He talks about being successful. He talks about everyone wants success. But he goes, success is not a firecracker that cracks overnight. It's a slow burning fire you add one log to every single day. Every single day you add one log. One log. One log. And one day, eventually, everyone knows you have this fire burning. You see what I mean? And you look up one day and everyone knows you. And you've got this, you know, and they're like, that's the guy. He's successful. And you're like, how? You just did the same thing every single day. It takes about 5 years for people to notice. It takes about 10 years to be solidified in history, I think. Right? The greats that you know about, you know, in sports and in business and anything, they're people that just did the same thing day in, day out with consistency. Consistency and discipline in trading is the key to winning. My strategy, look, we're near the 21. The stochastics are slightly curving. I want to see, you know, we play this cup and handle idea. We have a bit of an inverted head and shoulder. I can see it both ways, but I'm waiting for these subtle nuances in the charts to speak to me, which they will. They'll collide with my subconscious mind through all the times I've been to the charts, and together they'll be unified. Let me teach you something insane. My mind's on caffeine now, so be careful. But here's the brain, right? The brain has these tiny synapses inside, let's just say, right? They're pockets of stimulation that connect to memory, prefrontal cortex, right? And so what's happening here is the subconscious mind collects all these synapses, and it keeps them, and it collects them, and it puts them into pattern. You don't know this, but it's doing this. And whatever pattern you continue to think out is the pattern your mind continues to recollect. And this is called neuroplasticity. This is like the way you think. I mean, neuroplasticity is basically being able to change. This basically says that the more you think things, the more your brain does it. So the point is, if you basically take your eyeball, and you stare at the charts, and you watch price action for 10 years plus, eventually you're going to have these synapses that connect to your recollection of memory. They're going to collect into the charts, and they're going to be making decisions kind of for you without you really thinking about it. Your brain's going to be able to make these split-second decisions based on years and years of data. You understand? This is what people join my Discord for. They don't just join the Discord for signals. They join the Discord for the collective subconscious mind that I've collected over time that can feed back data to you. In the middle of the night, I'll post out a chart. It won't even be me. It'll be my subconscious mind. So it's kind of like Good Will Hunting, man. Pay for the subconscious mind that has done the work. I've sacrificed years of my life to stare at these charts. You don't have to anymore. All you got to do is jump on into the Discord for the most affordable price in the game on this Black Friday, and it's going to change your life. So if you want to change your life, if you want to have an experience that you like, kind of like that makes you feel like you're in a museum, I don't know, I can't explain it exactly, but jump on into my Discord. Some of the calls are going to blow your mind. There's going to be times where the chart's going to be very confusing. We're going to see it very nice and easily. We're going to put an update for you. Not easily, but we're going to put an update for you. And it's going to put the charts into perspective in a way that you're just going to be like, wow, why did I even think I couldn't see that? And you're going to change the way you feel about the markets and yourself. I know it. I've helped so many people. I have thousands and thousands of testimonials. It doesn't end. It does not end. It's amazing. You something. This keeps creeping up. Remember, it was 77, then it was 80. It's 82.7 now. The more this creeps up, the more there's that vibe, that feeling that there could be a bounce here in the bigger markets. Let's take a look at the S&P. Look, but this looks like there's going to be a little bit of a pump here for Bitcoin. We found this cup and handle, bit of an inverted head and shoulder flag on the 3-minute time frame. We hesitated on the short. Some people probably didn't. Coinbase futures are the slowest thing I've ever seen in my life. Hey, do we have to wait until Thursday to get that discount? Can we get it and start? Lifer is the best for real. Just 2 days, man, and you'll get it. Everything has to be done, so, in order. I thank you. I appreciate you for waiting. I'll be very transparent for the next 2 days. So just come to the live stream. You'll see what I'm thinking. You'll see what we're doing. Like this cup and handle that's likely, attempting to pump now to 88,000 for BTC. We got to look at the S&P futures and look at this. I mean, if Tesla's going to pump, that kind of means that Bitcoin's going to pump, and it kind of means that the S&P is going to pump, doesn't it? How can Tesla pump? Let's take a look at the DXY right now. So we'd like to see the DXY struggle, right? We identified the fact that it looks somewhat bullish. Look at that. Nice little red day for the DXY, a little overbought. This could be a double top. So here's the deal. We want this double top. Come on down for a bit, right? Cool off. This could help BTC. If it bounces, it gets tight. Again, it doesn't, it can pump with the market. Like Tesla could pump while the dollar pumps. But they can only pump for so long together. Eventually, they have to get uncorrelated. They can't pump forever. They can be correlated for a piece of time, but they can't continuously be correlated. All right. Someone said I took the short, it stopped me out. Yeah, see? Yeah, just hesitate. Wait for the sensei. Hesitate. We got to be very, very selective of our trades. In the next few days, the market's going to be very tricky. We got to be very selective. Wow, they reversed that puppy right back to the upside there. My long may still be in charge here. I'm looking for the S&P to reverse all the way. You see? I just want to see if I can. I think I'm being a little greedy with I want to be perfect here. Nice SR flip there too. Previous resistance could be the flow state there. Looking for that to continue, right? Interesting. And look, see how this could be a shoulder ahead, and we might just make a kind of a more shallow right shoulder there. So I'm just seeing if I can get it a little, on these low volume days, if I can just, when they try to hunt, if I can get a little bit better price. He says, if you cover ICP, I'll cover you. I'll buy the. You're funny, man. And why is horrible? Just games all day. See, look at that, tripping and slipping. 86,850. I'd say the 1 hour rejection of the 200 moving average is not my I'm not a fan of that right now. It's like slow bleed choppiness here. It is getting rounded though. It's funny, man. I could see it almost both ways here. That's why the head short, it's like I'm not even believing we're gonna dump for sure. Wow, I can even go to 89.12, huh? Look at that. And be safe. They could double top it, stop me out, and then rip it. Gotta make a decision at one point, Sammy. You gotta make a decision. Scad money don't make no money, Sammy. What are you going to do, boy? What are you going to do there? Someone's like, what are you saying? Who the heck are you? No, I'm just seeing, I'm attempting to trade perfect recently. Nearly impossible, but hey. Keep the streak alive, eh, boys? Look at that stochastics getting a kind of a bullish turn up. Interesting, the 30-minute using the 200 moving average caressed by it. Let me go back to that idea. The 33-minute time frame. See that getting caressed by the 33-minute, the 45-minute struggling with the 200. The 30-minute using it as support, but honestly, that would be a great entry. You lose the 200 on the 30-minute, it almost is like, yes, you're going to dump. So if you're just jumping on in, we're watching to see if we're going to roll over here today, right now, or if we're going to get at least a bit of a bounce back up. And I'm looking to see if I should be taking a head short. We had a bounce back up to 87,100 recently and just got, and now we're kind of been bouncing between 86.8 and 87.1 really for the last hour. We've been in chop. You can see Bitcoin's just been kind of in this choppy area. What I'm looking at is the rejection of the 200 by the 1 hour time frame, and then how this looks kind of like a head and shoulder pattern that just looks bearish. It could even be real sharp on this. You could say it's kind of already fallen out of the pattern, and it might even be bearishly retesting the bottom trend line. The 4 hour looks to roll over. The 2 hour looks a bit bearish. The 3 hour, the 4 hour looks like it's got more downside on the stochastics. Could even be curving back down on that, turning into a red, and then the RSI. So it looks pretty bearish here, but every time it's about to dip, we get this kind of quick bounce back. And the smaller time frames are fighting for their life, like this 5-minute inverted. So there's just a chance here, and we're just in chop. And every time it looks enticing to go short, I see a bit of a move back up. Every time it looks enticing to go long, I see a move back down, and we're kind of in some, the smaller time frames are They're toying with my entry, so I'm just waiting for a possible perfect time, but it may not come, man. Seeing the market pump while crypto stalls is jarring, but feel optimistic for December. No idea why. It's easy to get lost to the small time frames this week. So choppy, but we all know a big move will happen at some point. Yeah. The next drop is going to be a mean one. The smartest move is to wait for the daily to touch the 21-day moving average. And that's what I keep harping about. But dang, man, now we're going to have a bearish engulfing candle on that daily time frame. That's not what we were looking for. 22 has already touched near the 21.2 and looks bearish overbought. So you can see even the bigger time frames are suggesting that we're going to roll over here. So I was super bullish. We called it. I sold off earlier today, like 2 hours ago, and ever since then we've been kind of just falling short. Didn't sell the exact high of the rejection there though. It's getting tight. Yeah, white soldiers to the downside. Yeah, we call it 3 red soldiers, my man. Yeah. And look, now we're getting that bounce back up again. 3 minute in the flag, on that 21. Now you're on the 21 on the 3 minute. See that? That's a signal of mine. Like when the 3 minute touches like that, even though the 5 minute is touching the white, and you'd expect to bounce back to the upside there somewhere to 88,000. Okay. Again, if you like what we're doing here, we do this all day in the trading group. I'm going through a flip book. I'm putting out videos. I'm talking about my ideas. We're taking profits. When we're away for the 21, we're getting back in near the 21. We're teaching you ins and outs of trading, giving you so much education. If you go to cryptolifer.com, actually, if you hit the link, and honestly, I should just put that link inside the right here. Just smash that link. Jump on in there. I want everyone here to basically, have to pay the absolute least for education in the game. Everyone else is going to gouge you and create some type of whatever. I don't know. Call it the VI. We're here every single day. We put up. We don't shut up. We show you every single day what we're doing. All right. We teach you small time frames, big time frames. We go from the monthly all the way back down to the dang 1 minute. About 10 months ago, Ben Cohen said ADA could likely test 30 ADA or so before QE event. He said there's a good chance it could come up 1 to 2 months from there. So it could be around Q1. You never know, man. Jump in the waters, warm waters. Yeah. Jump in, the water's warm. Yeah, oh yeah. Imagine telling Satoshi that Bitcoin would be 88K and we would be depressed. In addition, we wait for PPI and Adobe non-farm payroll to protect BTC's next move. Kind of, I know, right? Yeah, I like what he just said, though. Look at Forex Factory. So liquidity is how the market moves, right? Whales move money into the market, and the market moves, right? So if the banks are closed one day, someone doesn't have access to money as fast as they normally do, 100%. That affects the market, doesn't it? The biggest market in the world has a closed bank, 100%. So Thursday is a bank holiday for the U.S. People are already kind of starting to get their money out of the market right now because they're going to be like, oh, order books are tight. Japan has their unemployment rate too, which would be great, as a bank holiday. So look at your Forex. There could be some really good swings there for you. Tau above the 200 on the 1 hour time frame. Shout out to Vetty Goat in the house. Thank you for jumping on in. Tuesday, core PPI came in hot. Let's take a look at what happened today. So we already had core PPI sales. 0.1, right, was actual, forecast at 0.2. Core retail sales, 0.3. They came in as figured out. PPM month over month, the same. But retail sales month over month, only up 2%. Forecasted as being up 0.4. So it's a little more bearish than expected. You want that to be a little more bearish, so they cut the rate. You see what I mean? If they keep saying it's great, we don't have to cut the rate. If it gets worse, we got to cut the rates to give people more money, to make the markets a little easy, to ease the market. I'll tell you what, they're in a tough place. They cut the rates, too much money comes out. They lower the value of the money, and we inflate everything else. They don't cut the rates, and you know what I mean? People don't have access to funds, and the economy shrinks again, and you're in a recession. It doesn't really matter what happens because they printed too much money a long time ago. It's over. It's almost like we're trying to build a dam for the wave of water that already came. And everyone's trying to tell you they can clean it up. They can't, everybody. That's why Bitcoin will rise in the future. Just trust, trust in the mathematics. Don't trust me, but trust in the math. And do your own research. And ask yourself, the ins and outs of it all. And get an education. The education is what will free you. You don't have to listen to anyone else about anything. You just have to get an education. And it'll teach you the way. Yeah, so we're expecting a right shoulder here, a possible dig out on the smaller time frame. And I'm all about the moving averages. You get above the 1 minute 200 moving average, then you have yourself a chance to change. Look at that. That's so interesting, right? Look at this. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, took a dump, came back, right? Seeing if we can get now, boom, short squeeze to the upside, all the way to 87.8. Flatten these guys, right? The order book is tight. Mike Maloney, exactly. Retail sales down going into the holidays. Everybody's already broke. Sounds like Japan is going to raise the rates. I closed my long, took my 100. Good enough for today. I like that, man. Paying the trader, brother. Paying the trader. That's what you got to do day in and day out. One step at a time. So look at this nice little possible scalp up. They're going after those. You got to get above the 200 moving average now. Each time you hit it, reject. You got to get above these. And I don't know why. The bots take profits. People take profits. They program The 200 runs the game. Too many people know about it and too many people use it. Old money to new money. Like I use it now because I see the old money uses it. And I'm new money compared. So look, now we get above this, we can get the pump. It's all about this yellow line. I know you don't believe me until you start to understand it, but over time you'll be like, what? How does he know this? And remember, I'm not short right now. I'm just kind of in waiting here. And shout out to BTCC. 2 more days to get the rewards here. All the way to November 30th. They ran it for a month. Raise your trading volume and get these. It's awesome. It's awesome. So check that out on BTCC. Been around since like 2015 at least. 2014, 2015. I'll find it exactly, but I believe it's 2015. So, it never had an issue. People love this exchange. Been secure. No hacks, knock on wood. Spot on for a long, long time. So, and yeah, open up a Tesla trade there too on BTCC. Pretty cool. You can do that. Yeah, so the S&P took a little bit of a dump and, a little bit of a move there, but back in action right to where it was before. Kind of like it did there. Likes to scoop before he likes to go after the long before it pumps. Very grimy. But when I look at it, it does look like the daily time frame is in position. Want to see this daily candle turn green. Can't even see the candle right now. It's insane, right? Look at that. It's actually not really where it should be, right? Got to get that to read right. Let's take a look at the daily candle right now. I'll look at it on Bybit Spot. Yeah, so they open right there and it's playing around. It just... It could go either way today. It's just to me, the volume's too low to tell you what could happen. You got to just be careful. And that's another thing about trading. I know when days to go super hard and when days are like, eh. The key is it could end up being a tweezered bottom, but not the one you want. I don't like red next to green. Not looking for that. So I sold into this area. I got in there, sold there. Maybe I'll regret as it pumps huge. But even then, I'll be able to find a flag. If that 1 hour gets us back above the 200 moving average, then we have ourselves a chance. Today's heavy detective work to figure out what they're doing today. Look, back above the 200 now. Now, see, I will not trade this until the 1 minute pulls the 200 above. So I would watch. I delete everything. And you got to clear your mind, too. See, I have a lot of TA going. But I go back to the 1 minute, and that is the right shoulder on the 5. We're getting everything we kind of asked. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Could just trade the right shoulder, but to me, that's just not... I've got a better system than that. So, pump. Let's see it pump nicely. But it's got to flag out. I got to get this 21 above the 200. We got to get the 21 above the 200 moving average. That's what we're really looking for. Okay? If you like this type of teaching, I have this class the last Saturday of every month. Jump on in today. It is super affordable, $150 for 3.5 hours of my time. People pay $300 for 1 hour of my time. So jump on in today. It'll blow your mind. Okay? Get the education you deserve. Stop playing around. Stop getting liquidated day in and day out. Learn risk management. Learn why and how to make a profitable P&L over time. Like I did right there, 14, 8 wins, 6 losses. But the key is 400 losses, 29, 3,400 in wins. You know what I mean? I think there's high probability to go for that liquidity again or, funny. Everyone talks a bunch of stuff. See, again, we got above the 200. Both times we got above the 200. You see how we kind of spiked up? Look at that violent spike above the 200 moving average. That's great. Now you got to pull the 200 with it. And look, the 5 minute did respond to that right shoulder. We were waiting for this the whole time. The 3 minute chart did break out of the flag that we talked about, the cup and handle. But it's all well and good. Now let's get back above, the 1 minute. Now in that flag, we're talking about oversold. You see? That gives me more confidence to long the 1 minute time frame now. There's a possible tweezer bottom here on the 1 minute. Still very sketchy. Try to front run it. So this is a high risk trade right here. To go to 92, 130. To put the stop at 86,030, right? For me. You've got to figure out how you position. I'll take the long based on the 1 hour time frame. You see? We've closed the 1 hour candle tweezer bottom. So I'm going to trust in that and take it. Now I should have waited for the 1 hour to get above, but there's just not enough price action. And if I wait that long, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of a move. So my subconscious mind now is telling me to take the higher low on the 1 hour time frame with the stochastics. Take this up for a 7 hour move. All right. And so that's kind of what it's telling me to do. I'm going to do what it told me to do. I had to wait this. Look, we've been looking at this for an hour and 20 minutes before I entered the trade. All right. So I'm trading the 1 hour time frame, folks. Yeah. I don't know. Someone said you're on the 1 hour like I wasn't. Look, that Tesla trade already up 7%. If someone took an option call there or a move on that, right? And the S&P looking interesting too, but the data, right? So now look, the 1 minute above the 200. So now what I could do is I can scalp this. Scalp that puppy, right? What's cool about Max weeks is you could make two different trades completely different of each other, right? So now I could look at weeks, zoom into the 1 minute. And now I'd be looking to scalp this. Remember, this is what we just talked about. This is what I had drawn. I'm like, okay. But you got to pull the 21 above the 200 now. Now we're looking for my signal. Now I'm looking for a system. And it is Tuesday, I guess, right? But my instincts tell me this week is always tight. And just to be more reserved than other weeks. The sad thing is there could be a huge move this week. And you're like, man, I missed the biggest move. That's why I don't take days off in crypto, because any day could be the day. It's crazy, man. Any day could be the day of the biggest day ever. And it's like, man, it's a never-ending labor of love, really, to be in cryptocurrency. So now, look, I can look at another trade here. And I'd say, okay, the stop would have to be below the 200 if we cross. But I can already build this trade now. And I can say, okay, I'll get to 88,161. The stop would have to be at 86,910. You see that? I'm not taking this trade. I'm keeping it ready and open. This would be a scalp. 1 for 4, because this would be a faster trade, right? What I love about this, if that hits and then I take 5 off, then I let the other trade run. And it's like... So now I'm setting up for the possible scalp here. Again, we could go right back down and, you know what I mean? It looks like a double top. Look at this. Cat ears, huh? Resistance at 87,220. Let's see what happens. We got to make the flag here now on the 1 minute for this trade to play out. Let's get this 21 to cross the 200 moving average. Let's get us to if we can make a flag and cross the 200, there's like an 80% chance that my signal will play out. I'd say it's like a 60% chance because there's a lower volume day, but on a good volume day, when things are rocking, there's like an 80% chance. But the chance goes down when we have less volume. No FOMO, bro. Let it go. Trade again tomorrow. You're funny. ES, same situation like yesterday on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah. Ripping price up this Thanksgiving would be a max pain if you think about it. So many shorts to liquidate and very few longs would get paid. So let's see. I just kind of wait this out now. And what I do is while I wait this out, I give myself a task. I know there's like 5 to 6 minutes. That would be the best entry there. This would be an aggressive entry. But we haven't totally got the cross just yet. Let's take a Cool thing is I don't have to risk a lot to snipe it. I'm going to snipe it right there. And see, look, I have two different trades here. I have the scalp and the long. The scalp's even bigger than the long. So I took an aggressive entry there, you see? Very aggressive entry. See what happens. We just got the cross. It wasn't, it was very early. That's the closest to the bone I've ever taken it. Really. Like, that's me living extremely dangerously. You know what I mean? Based on my strategy. And remember, I could lose easily in front of everybody here. That's just the sad part about it all. You could work your butt off all day and still lose. Kind of a double top. You see that? We'll see, though. I like my odds based on my on my signals. So we'll see what happens. I like this curve in the stochastics. I like how we're coming up on the 21. I can't look. I'd like to let it sit by itself now. I don't like to stare at my trades. I like to let them just be. I go make a smoothie or something. You know what I mean? Everybody, we're doing a cool hackathon here on Weeks, and we want to assemble the best team. I need people that know how to do APIs, all right? And what is it called? Tensor. I got to look at what my man said here again. But a hackathon, we're looking for AI positions in the hackathon. If you're UI or UX or experience in the latest AI models along with API, AI workflows such as TensorFlow and similar, email support@cryptolifer.com. Email support@cryptolifer.com. I'd like to assemble a team to go at this hackathon and learn ways. So let me know. If you want to jump on in, email support@cryptolifer.com. No S, email support@cryptolifer.com. So anyone with experience either in front-end development, UI or UX, or experience in the latest AI models along with API use with integration with AI workflows such as TensorFlow and or similar. All right. And man, I'm almost the king of 3%. Show me 3%. I want to be the king of 3%, right? Yes, I'm the king of 3%, man. No one makes 3% more than I do. Come on, baby. 5%. Let's go. Let's go. And one trade can change your life if you start trading a model that you love and it works. So look, we got the 21 to cross. Things are starting to kind of come up for us. We're up now in both trades. Wow. And now we're getting the move that we may have been waiting for. Let's take a look at, wow, and see the closest red is right there. So it does suggest we'll get to 89K. An 87.2 to 89K on a low volume day would be amazing. Again, we're at this resistance level. We kind of need to, this is, for some reason, we're having a very hard time getting above 87,250. We need a big thrust above it or just to consolidate so much that we bust through it. But we're having an issue here. You can see resistance, resistance. Someone likes to sell 87,250 on our face. Some big whale is just unloading on us. Every time we get to that area, some whale is unloading price action. We need enough people to want to buy into him to push him over. It's kind of like David and Goliath here. Let's do one more chance. You know, again, that's going to bring us back down again. And there's your double top. But the 21 above the 200 tells me not to use any emotion. Let this thing play out. So you just got to let it play out. So far, we've been patiently watching this entire thing move throughout the live stream, right? Here's the beginning of the live. We made the right shoulder. We didn't get pulled into the short just yet, right? And it's getting very close. I'm going to give you, is the bottom in? That's the biggest question. All right, and we're going to run a poll right now. Is the bottom in? And I believe most of my lifers would say, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, right? But I'm going to go over some key factors here. Is the bottom in for Bitcoin? Some people won't answer, some people will. I'd have to answer it with a percentage, right? Like, what is the percentage that the bottom is in for Bitcoin? Because I can't, like, as a trader, like, I don't do that, like, the bottom is in. You know what I mean? I just can't make those long-term calls, like, right? So looking for the squeeze to 185. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. So I'll give you one reason why, a strong argument for why the bottom's in, and it's based on this. Like, whenever I've seen this at 9, 10, or 11, and I believe we went to 10. We might have hit 9, but I believe we definitely hit 10. Last week was at 11. Like, it's only given you a chance to buy low BTC. And there's always been people, these are people trying to get orders low. These are people trying, they may never get that order, right? And they may never be able to drag these stop losses down and liquidate everyone at 75K. There's a chance, but there's no guarantee. Right now, the biggest red is where we go to, and that's at 89,150. So this is telling me that we're going to hit this level. Then this is going to get closer, 93, and then 95. So it's kind of more likely we go to 95,000 right now. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just going by the order book. I'm not going by anything else. Let's take a look at Ethereum. They keep saying, let's look at Ethereum, look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at ETH. So, possible case for this to flip green. This daily candle got to be green, though. I don't want to see it red today, man. Come on. Stop playing with us. Like, let's get confirmation here so we can get a move on. Funny, we talked about ETH Bitcoin the other day, and you can see it's on the daily 200 moving average. It's a great place to make a trade. For me, like, we talked about this earlier, right? When I was looking at the entry for Bitcoin. Now we're back at 87,000. They're just playing games of price action today. It's going to drive you absolutely mad today. It's going to be up and down, back and forth, up and down, back and forth. The whole week is going to be tough. I foresee this. I've seen it. I've been through it. So, the holidays does this, the price action. So again, we've drawn this out. It's a very strong area of support. You think ETH could start to bounce back up against Bitcoin. And people would start to say, hey, well, this is a good place, And it's near the 200 moving average. It's telling me that's the higher low for Ethereum. And yes. So I like ETH Bitcoin right now. I think you're spot on, whoever said that. And you can see it's a giant cup and handle. So that's a semi-cup and handy for ETH BTC. It means if I put a Bitcoin in there, I can make 1.34 Bitcoin off my ETH trade. It's interesting. Bitcoin strong at 87,000. Really telling me that it wants to hold this pole, this flag here. Our trades are in the green right now, just kind of sitting pretty. They're not amazing. Well, look, and there's another beautiful, that's a bit of a W. And the second I said that, it falters. Very ugly. I'd like it to look cleaner than that. Looks like it might make a right shoulder now and just collapse. Not worth watching. Price action is sketchy on the smaller time frames. I feel free when I just don't even look at it. So, and let's take a look at US Tether dominance. I'd like to see that coming down a bit, but it's okay, but it doesn't look amazing. If anything, it could just be making a bounce. It does. You see this, though. It is curving down. So it looks like it could give us a little bit of relief here. Back to the 21. So maybe a couple days of downtrending, but not amazing. You'd like to see it make this shoulder, head, right shoulder. So, you're looking, if Bitcoin gets the V-shaped recovery, you're going to get the head and shoulder, and then it's going to save the world, but the crypto world. But only time will tell. We have no guarantees of this behavior. 87,000 battling Bitcoin right now, and just a struggle. And all coins to me are, a few up and down for the day, nothing crazy. Deep Book Protocol up 9%, Popcat, a little bit of movement. And again, I would keep my strong coins, the Sui, the Says, the Souls, but everything else, man, I don't know if everything will even come back strong again. No guarantees. So S&P, interesting, look, that Tesla call up 12%. Dang. I didn't think I was going to make 12% that fast. Interesting. We're doing a lot heavier over here. So, and now I want to look at the total market cap of all of these altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Remember, we discussed this being like a possible uptrend, a higher low. We've got to get a bounce here. There's got to be a reason, you know, once the interest rate changes and it's like 90% they're going to cut that rate, everyone's going to start positioning themselves in risk on assets because they're not going to get money in treasuries anymore. It's going to be no use to put your money in them. And everyone's going to want to get into something a lot more, you know, juicy. And that's when we need this inverted head and shoulder, this right shoulder. And December 11th, everyone piles in. And we get a 20-day pump in December like we always do. All coins kind of get back closer to their, you know, their all-time high area here. And we're able to kind of just make a payday. Bitcoin needs to accumulate as lower levels before continuation to the upside. I'm looking around 70. Bitcoin doesn't need to do anything. Yeah. I love when people say need. Bitcoin doesn't need to do a thing. Bitcoin can do whatever it wants. Yeah, it doesn't need to do a thing. When I started telling myself Bitcoin needed to do something, that's when I started losing. All right. And I'm not saying you are. You could be the best trader ever. I'm just positioning my language correctly. It's up to you whether you want to or not. Well, like Bitcoin doesn't need to do anything. All right. Remember that. Yeah. It doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't have to do anything. You're right. It doesn't have to cut the grass. It doesn't have to come to your party. Bitcoin doesn't need. I'm just, and remember, yeah. Just need is a lack word. ADA is going to zero. It'll never see its highs again. That's a possibility. I think you might be spot on there. And I'm a huge ADA lover, but like, let's get real. Like, yeah. You say Bitcoin needs to cross the 200 MA all the time. It doesn't need, it would have to. I'd say it has to cross the 200 moving average. For us to be bullish, it would have to cross, right? Well, if I do, then I should move it to it. You know. So, hey, Sam, what music playlist are you listening to, please? Bitcoin owes me a Lambo. 100% it does. All right. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying you're closing your mind to all that could happen when you assume something must happen. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. When you assume something must happen, then you're saying other things can't happen. That's all. Yeah. He's just spot on. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And Hosky looks like the big after. Ooh. Wow. I'm not going to get into that. That's craziness. So yeah, we're still hugging this higher low. There's still a chance here. What will be the end of it all for me is when the 3-day chart loses the 200 moving average, but it hasn't. You see how it got a bounce there? So alts are still alive until we lose. If we lose the 3-day, then I kind of give up all hope there. But there's still a chance. There is still a chance we get the move. There's still a chance we get the bounce here for BTC. A huge chance. Okay. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. And this is Bookmap. It's a heat map order book. Just like infrared, right? When there's a lot of people, it's dark red. And it's showing you where Bitcoin likes to go. Bitcoin likes to go towards the darker red areas. It's that simple. If you have a big fat area, it's big and red, and it's closer to the bubbles will go up towards that red area. So it's kind of calling our name. It's saying, hey, we have the most liquidity at 93,250. Let's get the short squeeze back to the upside. Let's get it going. We had lack of volume today. It started looking pretty sketchy. Look, I'm down $50 now. Not a fan. It's looking pretty whack. See how it didn't stay in the flag. It fell below the 21. It's just looking... Not a fan of this price action right here. And you know what? You would expect it to be weird and strange on a day like today. Not only did you have data in, but you have, Thursday coming. It's Thursday. It's, another curvature there. Could be the head and right shoulder, though. Only time will tell, friends. Only time will tell. I love you all. I love you all. I'm very bearish on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Interesting. Yeah. CASP have been flying the last 2 days, lifer. Isn't that crazy? Let's take a look at CASPA. And again, that shows too, total 3, right? So certain people see a discount in altcoins when they're really beat up. And it creates like, hey, I feel like I have to get in here. So CASPA is back at a previous resistance, and it's bouncing. It's very oversold on the 3-day chart. You would expect at least to bounce somewhere back here to 8 cents. And over time, you know, you could see it hit a new all-time high of 26 cents. But it just, look, January of 2027, even if it goes crazy, September, October of 2026, if it goes up in a straight line, March, but it looks like somewhere by July at the, you know, September of October, maybe we have a chance to get out again. 87,150 for BTC. So as you can see, I kind of went long. Even though I see it both ways, I chose long on BTC. I could be wrong. My signals kind of show me there's a little more of a chance going up than down in the short term. It doesn't mean I'm like overly bullish in the long term, but in the short term, I chose long. All right. And, you know, I'll be in the trading group all day. We'll go over what we did. We'll talk about it. And so that's what the 99 is all about. It's about us going over the charts, talking about it together and breaking it down. Exactly. Slowly. And again, I've had a great P&L when most people are struggling to trade. Why? Because I have a system in place that just tells me what to do and I do it. And I know when things aren't good, I cut them off. You see? Look, we're back up in that trade. We're down. We're up 21 bucks. And the key is not to be emotional. How do you not get emotional? You don't risk too much. If you risk too much, you're going to get emotional. It's pretty simple. Most people are setting themselves up to be emotional because they're over risking in the trade, and when they're down, they can't handle it. Like, I only make $600 a week and I'm down $400. I mean, of course you're going to freak out. That's all the money you make a week. So the bigger your trades compared to your kitty, like how much you're worth, how much you're making, it's going to affect you in a big way. Emotions are huge, man. So just be careful. You know? Proper risk management. You got to have proper risk management. It's the most important thing in trading, and people don't talk about it. I teach it in my course every single month. And a lot of people could use a handle on it. Some people don't even know. They don't have a system that you need a system for. Not only do you need a system for trading, but you also need a system for risk management. Like, I know exactly what I'm going for and why. I know exactly what I'm going to set the stop loss and where. All these things are predetermined. I can see what I'm looking for. It makes sense to me. Okay? This is important. Risk 1% of the actual portfolio in any given trade. People don't like to hear that. They don't like seeing 10 grand and saying, oh, I can only risk $100 to trade. They want to make 5 grand overnight. After 2 or 3 trades, when even if they're only up a few hundred, they see a big trade on Twitter or a big trader makes big money and they go, I got to be big like that guy. They compare themselves to someone with way more money than me, way more resources than them, right? XRP, please. Are you doing class this Saturday? We are doing class this Saturday, yes. The last Saturday of every month, which would be this Saturday, 100%. Right? Most important is position sizing. If you, you're done. Exactly. BNB holder getting the BSC game home is on an 8x while getting 5% point. I don't know what he's saying, but yeah. It's worth more than money, and definitely, yep. Yes, you are worth more than money. You're worth your experiences. Now, look at this, man. A head and shoulder immediate. Look at it. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. You see it? It's a head and shoulder pattern. Crazy. That's weekend trading for you. I got stopped out of one trade already? No way. Damn, I just lost 90 bucks. See? Dang, weekend trading, man. I thought I was way below the 200 moving average, though. It doesn't make sense. Nah, better off, though. See? It's shady, man. And see how it's all about small losses, bigger wins. Look, that might bounce back. You're going to, man. Look, this is what I see here, too, now. I see a bigger trade at hand. And that's really what we're looking for. The bounce off this, consolidate tighter in there, stay above that 200 moving average. I can see this thing continuing. And pumping up all the way up to about 88, 250. So they sniped me. I don't know how they sniped me. I guess the 200 did falter a little bit, and I was there. I get it, which is rare, but hey. Is this shadow recorded for review? It will be recorded, yes. And you'll get a copy of the recording in your, yep. I see everyone making gains and me not making even a buck, so it does affect my soul, but I push on. It happened to me for a long time, man. It took me a long time to figure out how to trade, J-Soul. A long time. Look, I still make mistakes. I still have to lose, to win. There's no such thing as a P&P. There's going to be a P&L. You are going to lose. The key is to lose graciously and lose well. All right? Like where I am in life at 93 bucks, I still don't like losing that. See, I see people that lose way more than me and they have way less than me. And I'm wondering why they're risking so much. It doesn't make sense to me. Right? And this is the part of trading no one wants to show you. They all want to show you their wins. They all want to show you how great they are, but no one wants to show you how tough trading is. Today was a day where to probably not trade at all. It was choppy. Again, remember, I already won $1,000 this morning. I want to make that clear. So I'm up 900 bucks. All right. I took 2 trades down for gains. So life is beautiful. I have no stress. Let's see if the Tesla trade is ripping too, up 21% on the Tesla call. Who would have thought? Right? 409. But I like this low. I like to buy the bottom of the pattern. You can see what we're doing. We're inside this beautiful ascending triangle in a beautiful uptrend. News coming out, robots, flying cars, all sorts of craziness. AI, Tesla's an AI call. If you think if there's going to be an AI bubble and you don't think Tesla's going to double, then you're bugging out. So I like Tesla as a call here. All right. Shout out to all my Tesla holders. Let's go. I'm in the crowd. I'm in the group, yo. Casper looking interesting too as well. Let me take a look at the super chats and see what people are saying here with the fan funding. Looking at the 3-day chart, we've only hit oversold 5 times and only one of those accurately marked a true bottom. The chart suggests there's still a higher probability of downside. Thank you. Lifer, can we look at Banger? Go, no. Was thinking about XRP, huh? God bless you. Yeah. Tau above the 200 on the 1 hour. Can you glance at folks? XRP happy. Let's take a look at XRP for my man Kurt. On MEXC. It all depends on what Bitcoin does, but we're looking for the bounce on XRP too. Oversold, curve up, right? S and the RSI, everything says that there could be a bounce on XRP. I'm looking for it to make this inverted head and shoulder, which would take probably till December 9th. So things are just taking longer than people want them to take. And it's tough. It's very tough. Okay. So you're just looking for this inverted head and shoulder to play out on XRP. And, to me, that's it. Stop loss possibly below the 3-day 200. You're still above the 3-day 200 moving average. That's the hopeful and, move that you could get a move back to the upside. So that's what we're looking for on the 3-day. And that's why, XRP has some hope here. The second you close the candle below there, oof. I mean, it's a free fall down to 66 cents. I'm not saying that's going to happen so far. We seem to have enough interest and enough people. We have the ETF. There's enough money in there. And that's, you have to remember, Total 3 is holding that key level too. So Total 3 is being held up by the bigger positions. Someone said, can we look at Folks? Folks Finance on MEXC. Thing is up huge in the last few days. One of the rippers. Honestly, I mean, look at it. It's in a flag here. And you can almost say it's in a flag here like so. I don't know what this is. I'd have to look at it. Look at the market cap. Folks Finance, 109 million, pretty small market cap, $8.96. Max supply of 50 billion, circulating supply, so 1/5 of the supply is out. Look at the volume, total volume very small, right? 625. Tight, but 5 million on PancakeSwap. So it's being more, it's a decentralized getting volume on the decentralized apps. So it's a cross-chain decentralized protocol that enables users to supply, borrow, and manage digital assets across multiple blockchains from a single platform by using interoperability technology, Chainlink, CCIP, Circle, and wormhole messaging. The protocol eliminates the need for wrapping, bridging, or splitting liquidity. I mean, that is the future. That's what you want. That's how it should be. I like it. a horrible time to be like, mentioning anything new really. But yes, holding strong above 9 with steady upward momentum. That does look like it could continue to rip though. If Bitcoin does recover and you get a bounce in the next 2 weeks, short term, yes, you could see that thing bounce. But it's very high risk. For me, I would be putting in very small amounts, and if nothing at all. But that's up to you guys. You do whatever makes you happy. That's very, very high risk. Thank you so much for the ask, though. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. And these will come back to you tenfold, everyone. You don't have to give, but you do. Tau above the 200 on the 1 hour time frame. Let's look at our baby BitTensor. And I still own BitTensor. I never gave up on that puppy. And you can see the 30-minute looking beautiful. That looks nice to me. That's suggesting there's going to be a move. So let's take a look. I like this. So I deleted everything. That looks good to me. Low volume. It's suggesting, whenever you see bullishness like this, it suggests that Bitcoin is going to get some type of bounce, right? So now we're still actually, look, we're still strong. Nothing has changed here. We're above the 200 now. Interesting, right? You see that? They snipe me. Now it's like, I want to go back in again. I'll just keep this trade open. The win should pay for that loss. Let's see this make a right shoulder and continue to pump. Bring us to 88,000 in like 4 hours, 5 hours. It'll be a slow crawl. See, we found this flag here. It looks like Bitcoin is going to move up to 88,250. It's just slowly making that call. It took a while to see what was going on. We're tapped in now. Tau will kind of follow the same movement here as Bitcoin. The 21 above the 200 curving. Support or resistance holding you down. They could easily stop hunt. Always be careful. But yeah, that's something that, that looks nice. And again, there's not a lot I would go crazy for. But this is AI. They're talking AI. A lot of AI talk right now. AI bubble, AI this, AI that. Tesla, Tau, they're going to pump together. Tesla looks good. Tau's, you got to start making these connections quick. Understanding what's going to move. And if you start seeing consolidation on a bunch of AI projects, then you know that there's going to be, it's telling you something. The charts tell you it's going to happen before it happens. And we might see an AI bubble in the next few months, in the next few weeks even. Sometime, I've seen these bubbles November, December, out of nowhere, coins are going to go out of control and start ripping. So how do we prepare? Well, let me give you a little bit of a side move here. We'll go here to categories. All right, AI and big data. And start kind of combing this. BitTensor is going to be your big mover. You would see Near start to flip and move. Render is somewhat AI. I don't love it as much. Virtuals does move. It has a lot of AI agents. It's funny. I'd like to see Sahara AI tends to move too with a smaller market cap. Kato has been on my radar. I like this coin for AI. It's got AI in the middle there. See? Chain Opera has been hot. I could see that moving, getting a move, even though it's very small. AI Companions might just jump on that bandwagon because it has that name. D-Agent AI, I remember this thing going out of control. Now it's back and kind of quiet. You never know. So I just start kind of making a list of these, putting them into a watch list. And AI XBT, because that's been like interesting too. I could see that move with AI and big data. Like Codas Maximus, no, I would stay away from. Like certain things are just no. Sapien was interesting. I could see that move. Hollow World AI, you know what I mean? Everything just, there's some, these things would just unify. Unif AI network. Quack AI was interesting too, even though it's like, Sky AI was moving. Sleepless AI was Some of them are just But, I those are the ones I like that. I would make a list of those. And look, 8%, 3%. Things, it'll happen slowly. Next thing you know, you'll see 10X's overnight. And like a week from now, there'll be, this thing will be at 339. Everything will be like, AI, everyone's going to be like, whoa. You got to pick up on this stuff before and even get ready. Maybe we're wrong, but we're ready for it, right? And now we're going to start to kind of be ready. So how do you stay ready? Join my trading group. I'm here every single day. We don't stop. Hit the link below all my videos right here. Bang. It's going to take you to this form. Fill out the form. It's going to give you 24-hour access to my Black Friday sale. You put a coupon code, you get a more affordable price. It's that simple. And I'm here every single day just doing it. Not only do we teach you, do I give Bitcoin trades almost every single day of my life and ups and downs, talk about Bitcoin, but I also go over coins. I'm looking at stuff, I'm searching, and I have ways to scan the market and have some fun. So if you like to find out about new coins every day, if you like to scan the market, if you want to know what's hot and what's not, jump on into my Discord, man. And we're also working on new products every day to serve you and help you guys better. 2026 is going to be a big year for the entire Cryptolifer community. I'm excited. I can't wait to share with you. I can't say exactly what it is, but it's going to be amazing. And we're putting a lot of money back into the company to make something beautiful and special for each and every one of you. So believe me, you're basically, your contribution goes further back into teaching more people in a more experienced manner. So look at this, head and shoulder. This thing's getting tight. And now we're starting to see consolidation for Bitcoin, which shows that we could start to build a move to the upside here for BTC. So I might jump back in. I'm in another trade. I'm in that trade, but I might jump back in. You know, that's a 10% at 10x at 40. That's a 47% trade right there if it goes up my way. You never know. It's a tough day to trade. It's back and forth. Technically, this is chop. But if we stick with it, if you stick with my disciplined strategy somehow, some way, I find a way to win. BitTensor looks very interesting compared to the rest of the market. Strong. And I just look for the strong coins, strong projects. People were yapping about Bitcoin Cash. Let's take a look. I mean, yeah, it looks better than most. Look at that thing. It's got a higher low. It's getting tight. That looks bullish to me. See, there's something going on with altcoins because look, that doesn't look bad to me. Bitcoin Cash looks quite interesting, actually. Like it could go to $1,200. So I don't know. There's a narrative brewing here. If it's going to have some AI connection and then it's going to boom. I don't know. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. But Bitcoin Cash looks somewhat very interesting. It will take time. I don't think that's an overnight trade by any means. That's a longer term swing trade. But you can see, I mean, compared to Bitcoin, it's been holding its levels very nicely. Bitcoin Cash looks almost amazing. Shout out to the 1,200 beautiful people here. 1,328 people. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the like. Let's hit the like button. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. We have 451 likes. I know we could double that up to 900. It would be awesome. And again, if you hold any altcoin, if you hold anything, Bitcoin, whatever, more people know about it when the algorithm for Google goes around the internet and tells people about it with the show, with the stream. One of the longest running consecutive streams on cryptocurrency in the world, the Cryptolifer Show. Support consistency and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, this stream just helps other people be consistent with their life. When they see how consistent I am, it helps them stay consistent. So jump on in today and be consistent with the lifers. We love you, we appreciate you, and we want to see you win. When you help me win, I help you win. And together we win. It's that simple. But I can't do it alone, right? If I can't talk to myself in a room by myself, it's got to be all of us together. We got to do it together. Together. So, yes. So here we go. We're watching this flag to see if Bitcoin can get to 88,250. We want to see the 1 hour get back above the 200 moving average. And again, just watching this flag to me is really going to give you your answer today. We could easily just roll over and end up back here at the bottom of the channel. Honestly, in the next 10 or 20 minutes, we're going to find out what Bitcoin's going to do. You're going to get I guess a lunchtime pump. Perfect, right? Lunchtime pump on low volume. Makes sense. Right? That's exactly what they should be doing. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone that jumped on in and that made a comment. We love and appreciate you. Someone says, Bitcoin, please. Stas, I love you, man. Thank you for being here. God bless everybody here on the live chat. And look, is the bottom in for Bitcoin? 47% said yes. 53% said no. Right? Alts are trash. Don't bother. You'll get wrecked. Somebody says, I don't feel my emotion when I'm listening to you, Sam. Hey, I love it. What I have seen for other, you are the very best chart reader. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You didn't have to say that. That's very nice. Hey, Sam, you dropping some new Cryptolifer merch would be amazing. Yeah, we got to get the merch out, man. It's really been like, I got to get it done. I'm waiting on too many people to get it done. I just got to get it done. Thank you for saying that. God bless everybody out there. Thank you for jumping on in. Right now, I want to just, I want to sell the knowledge. Then we'll sell merch later. So if you want to really do anything and you want to jump on in, go to that Black Friday sale. Hit the link. Fill out the form. I'm going to put the form out for you one more time here. And you know what I'll do is I'll put it right in the comment section. So right here, fill out this form, everybody. So Thursday night, you can get 24-hour access to a better discount to my Black Friday sale. You'll love it. And then you're going to ride with me for the rest of the year and pay like basically a little over $2 a day. It's going to be fascinating. So I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank each and every one of you for being here every single day and your constant support and love. I couldn't do this without you all. Thank you so much. Thank you to 100,000 subscribers and beyond around the world. I travel city to city. There's always someone ready for a meetup, from Lisbon to Dubai to Singapore. All the way, I know they're in France. They're everywhere. So everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow for a beautiful, amazing, awesome live stream. Thank you so much. Let's do it again like we do every single day. God bless. Thank you, dear Lord, for another amazing stream, the ability to speak, the ability to be here, and the ability to influence and to be just, give people a positive light, love, and education every day. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Cherish your life. Appreciate every moment. Stay in the present. You've got this. I love you. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, I studied all these people that were very, very successful in many ways, and they all had the same secret. You know what it was? There's a secret to success. You know what it is? It's getting started.